I want you to see. I'm back on. I got turned around, but I came back. I took Secaucus Road. I could have done one called County Road or Secaucus Road, would have took me back. This is kind of where I got off and went left to Secaucus. But I'm on Tonnelle Avenue, and this is, I just wanted a lot of these, I'm going to do these short today, and maybe just do a tour of, you know, the old town. And I'm talking a little bit, you know, commenting on some verses. And earlier today, I'll stick with some of the theme. I put some of the verses about God's promise to Abraham. And these are Genesis 12 and Genesis 15. But when God picked Abraham, it's famous in Scripture, you're still on, now we're on Tonnelle Avenue, and I'm heading towards 91st Street. But I'm going to stop at Walmart, and I got to pick up a few things. Manhattan Mobile Home Park. So God called him and he said, get out of your country and from your kindred and from your father's house unto land that I will show you. And it says Abraham, it says in Hebrews 11, look at the trap, Abraham went by faith, not knowing where he was going. And you know, that's in our lives, that's a difficult thing. It's a difficult thing. This part of the country, the reason it's so crowded here, and you have subway systems, and it's because the original people that came to this part of the country, they were adventurers, and they were out for new worlds. But then the generations following lost that sense of adventure. Now our country did expand west, and you have, you know, California. And some of the preachers at that time, they were so excited about, they were almost too excited. They said, once we explore and the West California region becomes new territory, it'll be greater than it will be in the East. And it didn't happen to that degree. But a lot of people, they were not, you know, like Abraham, not willing to leave what was familiar. The heritage, the actual area where you grow up, the culture. And so, and I'm not being critical, I'm saying that often is a part of the journey. I have some friends in Texas. Every now and then they want to leave Texas. Most of the times they come back. I had some friends in the Bluff, part of Corpus Christi where I live, and they often would say, I just can't get out. And it's not easy. When you get a little older in life, it's very difficult to relocate. Right down the street to the left, you can't see, used to be an old firehouse. And my dad also worked at that firehouse. Let's make sure we're on. And I used to come down here. There was a guy that he knew, the firefighters. His name was Frankie Natale. He owned horses. He had like a little horse stable right down there next to the fire station. That's no longer a firehouse. And I bought the go-kart I mentioned. I used to have a little, I bought it from his son right down off of the street. Now we're coming up this way towards my home block. And those of you that grew up here, don't live here no more, I'll try and title these in a way that you can see. Now look, the George Washington Bridge, straight ahead. And all of the Lincoln Tunnel, all the signs, New York City signs, they're all around this area. As a kid growing up, you don't recognize, you know, the history of this area till you move away and you come back. This to the left is the Dunkin' Donuts that I was using every now and then. I just had a discussion with Jack, the cab driver, earlier, and they were complaining about how the Dunkin' Donuts, a different one up the street, but the coffee's watered down. I said, you know, I drink mine black, and I've been buying the large cups there. I said, I noticed that. It's a large cup, but it's about half the strength of what I would normally drink. So just enjoy enjoy, for my old friends, just enjoy the view. And so Abraham, he left his home area, his home country, everything that he was familiar with, and then he went out. And then God said, because of that, then you go to Genesis 15, and he took Abraham outside and said, look at those stars, look at, because you obeyed, because you were willing to put your trust in me, that's why I'm going to go ahead and bless you. And if you look at the story of the life of Abraham, even though he's known as the father of the faith, he made many mistakes. He certainly was not sinless. But yet, it was the willingness to trust in God. The willingness to say, I'll leave. I'll go. You told me to go, I'll go. And a big part of the faith, I'm behind the bus, big part of the faith walk is that. Now, I used to go to a school up here to the left. It was called, my high school was just to the right up the street. But I used to go to a school here called Hudson County Vocational School. I'll never forget, I had a class called welding class. And me and Chi-Chi one day, we went in there at night. There was a riot in that school. And I forget why we were in there. We didn't start the riot, but it was at night. And it was kind of a riot. And, forget what happened. We went in there because he wanted to see his girlfriend Donna was in there. That's the school. I used to come and eat pizza over here. It used to be a pizza place. And my shop teacher for welding, he asked the next day, were any of you here last night? And I was there. But I wasn't involved. I mean, I wasn't the starter of the riot, and I don't think I got into a fight or anything that night. Well, he found out, he kicked me out of class. He kicked me out of that class. And then I went into a shop class, building trades. And the son of the teacher of that class used to ride dirt bikes. I didn't know the son well, but I bought a dirt bike from him. It was a Honda 125 Elsinore, which was a motorcycle. I'm not going to go too long. It's about 7 minutes. All right. And then maybe I'll do this a little today. The weather's bad, and I'll do a little tour. I just have a few days left here, okay? This is 91st Street. Used to roll our motorcycles. We wouldn't start them until we got down here. But we'd roll all the way down that big hill, then jump start them right here, and go straight down this hill, and we would catch like a train track. We'd go by a little hill called Bumps Hill, and then catch a train track, ride along the side of the train track, and we'd be a place, the old Meadowlands area, swampland, and we would ride our dirt bikes there. That was called Meadowlands. We called that the Flats. And as kids, that was fun. She had a spot. Now, on the way back up the hill, we had to start the motorcycles. And finally, a cop, I knew the family. The name was Spinner. And I think a friend of mine, Linda Turner, was related to. But finally, one day, that cop pulled me over. So I got tired of hearing these motorcycles up and down. But he knew my dad, who was the captain at the firehouse. And he regretted that he had to let me go. Okay, enjoy these little videos. Now I'm on 91st Street.